Yeah, okay, mate. So hopefully I've got the right coin here. You can let me know if it's not. But this is into an extremely interesting point on the chart. Uh, it's obviously very, very close down into that yearly low, very, very important yearly low. If I can just make that a bit better. So you can just see how close it is there. And it's down less than 1% today. A lot of coins, you know, often either get bought up just above this line right here or just below it. I was actually looking at another one today that actually didn't take out that. I can't remember which coin it is now, but I was looking at one and I was like, oh, it was so close to a stop hunt. But yeah, so with with knowing that, there is a stop hunt here on this 6 month actually, which is not ideal because there's a stop hunt and there's only 27 days left in this 6 month candle. There's probably going to be some sort of bounce, but when I see a stop hunt here like this, a lot of times price can take out that low. Right now, obviously, I'm drawing that and it's going below zero. Well, it didn't go below zero, but um, I'm just saying because that stop hunt is there in that candle, it increases the chances of taking out this low here. Obviously, that's not an exact science, but it's just something I see in the market. And there's no strength in that red. See here, you see here on this 3 month, it did just a small bounce and then eventually took out the lows of this previous candle. But we also now have that in a 6 month, right? So that's actually an interesting fractal. You get it there, and then you get the small bounce and a drop down. Uh, is that implying that you get a candle like this on the second half of the year? I'm not sure yet, but you know, I suppose we couldn't rule that out. And that kind of candle there also is implying that we have a red yearly candle, but we already know we're having a red yearly candle, but maybe it's just going to come down a bit further and take out this low eventually. That's something to keep in mind when you're cautious of getting in. But it is into that level that we talked about that is potentially forming, well, a higher low. There's no clear signs of a bottom just yet. It is still red. It's red on the 1 month. God, that's a pretty nasty drop right from up here right down. This was also a pretty large candle, pretty large drop. Um, what I'm saying is this is not a clear sign that there's a bottom. Like here, you had the large drop, but then you got this doji, and then there was a wick fill, or actually, is that a stop hunt? I'm not sure. It looks like a double bottom actually, but double bottom, wick fill, whatever you want to call that, and then I was allowed to get a reversal. This has just had the drop, and it's not really formed any decent sort of monthly candle yet. Now, if this monthly candle gave a bullish stop hunt, you would have to say that's a buy because it's into such an important area. But at this point in time, we've not given any clear indication that this is the bottom because there was such a bad drop and a poor close that closed down onto the lows. So I think it's probably just worth watching for now. Is there always the chance that you could just fill this wick and this is the buy? It's always possible in the market, but it's not the ideal situation. What would be the ideal situation as well would be maybe form a small candle right here like this. And then the next candle is a new quarterly and a new 6 month candle. And then obviously you'd like to take the lows of that out and something like that. Because this small candle here would allow for consolidation on smaller time frames that then would enable the price to break up. It would be easier for the price to break up. At this point, there's no clear indication, but a small monthly candle like this would probably help. This is technically a small monthly candle, but obviously it's a long-legged doji candle. So anyway, let's just go down. I'd like to see the 9 week to start with. Yeah, the 9 week is still pretty red. It's pretty beefy, pretty red. It's a bit of a knife catch. It's implying your best trades, your safest trades are usually going to come into green candles. We don't really have green candles yet. I mean, if you're buying, it's safer to trade into green candles ideally. Of course, there could be a knife catch, but your best trades are all into green periods. Yes, you could have bought the dip, but it's a green. it's a green breakout and then a kind of a bullish retrace, as you can see down in here. Um, that, that is buying into red, but you need to have a plan when you're buying into red. And you can see pretty perfectly, it basically came back down into the previous wick as well, down into here into a 50% retrace or whatever that is, in a bullish move. So bullish retraces in a bullish environment, it might be buying into red on that time frame, but on other time frames, it might have been green, for example, on the 6 month or whatever it is. Let's just look at the 6 month. Was it? Yeah. So it was green here. So there was a move up and then it dipped back down, but it was still in a green candle that then allowed for further upside. So yeah, yeah, and we are still pretty deep red and red on the month, red on the 6 month, red on the year, of course, and red on most time frames. So a bit of a knife catch, but obviously the 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 trick to getting in early is to try and watch for that change. And we are into that very important point where there could be a change in that bearish environment. So, for example, I do like to trade these sometimes. Sometimes you come right down and it pierces. Is that a stop hunt right there? Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's a bearish stop hunt. It's on larger time frames, but look at this. Oh, sorry, it's a bullish stop hunt. But you can see it coming right down in there and that stop on. But they're kind of very sneaky. But if you've a long time left in this time frame, for example, let's say there's a 3 week chart. If that dropped in the first week and you're starting to think, well, there's a bullish stop on here and there's 2 weeks left in this candle, that has time for some recovery. And if that does recover, the time is on your side then to try and get that real reversal. And it's probably something like that probably happened there. And so it's important to understand the time factor of a trade, when it happens, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not completely against it down here. It's in an area that it's trying to do something, but it obviously hasn't done that yet. I think, if anything, if you were looking to get into this or FOMO into this or whatever, it is red on the 2 week. There's 5 days left. It might be safest to wait and trade a new 2 week candle and see, see if it wants to have a green candle back up. That may be the way to do it. Um, I, I I do get what you're looking at though. It's into a very interesting point. It's also, 3 day chart here is having these little doji candles. It is consolidating. Again, I don't know if you're wanting to invest or wanting to trade it. Did you say that? I'll have to look at that again in a minute. Um, there's kind of a similar sort of setup here where you get the red drop down, and then you get the double candle before getting that bounce. And also notice that the bullish stop hunt on that third candle, that was your real reversal point. That was your real move. You got that, and then you got this very decent move to the upside. If you're looking to trade it, that's a 40% bounce. Uh, something down here could give something like that because it's severely beat down to the downside. Um, Sorry, I was just looking for something there. I want to see. Yeah. So, a bounce here, just say it came up into here, 24 or whatever, that then becomes a bullish quarterly stop hunt. So that means that you would have knife caught down here below these previous lows. That's a very interesting place to be buying. Obviously, need to understand the risks and the fact that it is bearish and understand that it's a knife catch. The best trades, I mean, the safest trades are trading with the trend. This is not. The best trades, the best entry points can sometimes be when everything looks absolutely terrible. And this is kind of in that zone where it looks absolutely terrible, but it's a very, very, very interesting point on the chart where you can get a reversal. The trick is to understand all of that and try and catch it as it's kind of just trying to flip. Now, here's something very interesting. On a 5 day, there's only 1 day left, okay? And this is a very, very interesting 5 day candle. Look what happened before. We just looked at this actually on a different time frame. When we got that doji last time, you can see what happened. Um, it had a small dip down and pushed up and flipped green on a new 5 day. That was a flawless entry point. When you find beautiful entry points like that, dips down into fill the wick on a doji like this, you know, but I don't want to overstate the risk that can be taken, but Sometimes if you get that and you catch that and you see a slight bullishness coming off those lows, just it could be 1, 2, or 3% or whatever it is. But sometimes you can go pretty big on those trades when you have a clear defined plan and a clear defined risk. Um, and obviously, everybody's got different amounts of risk they want to be taking, but it's finding these type of setups that can even give you a trade for 5 days, for 1 week to the upside that can, you can make good money off that. Like that's a well set up trade. And we may be on the cusp of something like that that may want to have a green candle, which is a 5 day trade and maybe a bit more than a 5 day trade, but that's just a very rough idea that holding a 5 day trade. You can see here, obviously, the new 5 day went a bit higher again. That's to be determined, but this may be setting up here. So I suppose I'll leave it at that. It's 11 minutes on the video. I didn't mean it to be so long. The truth is, phew, I hope this is, it's the first coin I really looked at. I hope this is the right coin. But it's interesting nonetheless. So yeah, mate, I hope you're well. I hope you've got the right coin. And yeah, 1 day left until this setup.